This is Top Accolade Global News Update. I am Abiodun Mohammed. A US warship sailed through the sensitive Taiwan Strait on Thursday, part of what the US military calls routine activity, but which has railed China. In recent years, US warships and on occasion those from allied nations such as Britain and Canada have sailed through the strait, drawing the ire of China, which claims Taiwan against the objections of its democratically elected government. In a statement, the US military said the Arleigh-Burke-class guided missile destroyer Chong-Hun carried out the transit. In a statement, Liu Pengyu, spokesman for China's embassy in Washington, said China firmly opposed the move and urged the United States to immediately stop provoking troubles, escalating tensions, and undermining peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. A spokesman for the Eastern Theater Command of the Chinese People's Liberation Army said it organized troops to monitor and guard the ship's transit, and all movements were under control. Russia and Ukraine attacked each other's positions in eastern Ukraine on Friday, with no sign they would observe a 36-hour ceasefire unilaterally ordered by Russian President Vladimir Putin at short notice to mark Orthodox Christmas in the region. On Friday morning, Christmas Eve for Russians and many Ukrainians, Russian shells hit Kramatorsk, a Ukrainian city near the front line in the industrial Donetsk region that Russia claims as its territory. The city mayor said, "Kramatorsk is under fire. Stay in shelters." Mayor Alexandra Oncharenko posted on social media. He did not give details of the damage. The Kremlin had ordered the truce to begin at 12 without specifying what time zone they were referring to. Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24, 2022, starting a war that has killed tens of thousands of people, displaced millions and reduced cities to rubble. Ukraine has driven Russia back from some of its territory, but battles are raging over eastern and southern cities, and Russia has unleashed barrages of airstrikes on civilian infrastructure. In a surprise last-minute announcement on Thursday, Putin unilaterally ordered his troops to observe a ceasefire from Friday to run through the Russian Orthodox Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, a move that was rejected as a trick by Ukraine and its allies. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky rejected the idea out of hand, saying the goal was to halt the progress of Ukraine's forces in Donetsk and the wider eastern Donbas region and bring in more of Moscow's forces. United Nations Security Council members voiced concern and stressed the need to maintain the status quo at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in Jerusalem, but did not commit to any action, days after Israel's new far-right security minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, made a controversial visit to the site, which Palestinian leaders called an unprecedented provocation. The decades-old status quo at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound allows only Muslim worship at the site, which is Islam's third holiest after Mecca and Medina, but the site is also revered by Jews who call it the Temple Mount. Israel's far-right groups have long attempted to change the status quo and allow Jewish prayer at the site. Calls have also been made by the far-right for a Jewish temple to be built in place of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Palestinian UN envoy Riyad Mansour pushed for the Security Council on Thursday to take action against Israel over Ben-Gvir's provocative actions. Israel's new security minister is well known for racist incitement against Arabs, opposition to Palestinian statehood, and for leading raids by settlers into the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound and the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood in occupied East Jerusalem. A senior UN political affairs official, Khaled Kiari, told the council meeting that it was the first visit to the site by an Israeli cabinet minister since 2017. More countries around the world are demanding that visitors from China take COVID tests days before it drops border controls and ushers in an eagerly awaited return to travel for a population that has been largely stuck at home for 3 years. From Sunday, China will end the requirement for inbound travelers to quarantine, the latest dismantling of the zero-COVID regime that began last month following historic protests against a suffocating series of mass lockdowns. But the abrupt changes have exposed many of China's 1.4 billion population to the virus for the first time, triggering an infection wave that is overwhelming some hospitals, emptying pharmacy shelves of medication, and causing international alarm. Greece, Germany, and Sweden on Thursday joined more than a dozen countries to demand COVID tests from Chinese travelers, as the World Health Organization said China's official virus data was underreporting the true extent of its outbreak. Chinese officials and state media have struck a defiant tone, defending the handling of the outbreak, playing down the severity of the surge, and denouncing foreign travel requirements for its residents. Former Italian football star Gianluca Vialli has died from cancer at the age of 58. His death was announced on Friday by the striker's former club, Sampdoria. Vialli, who enjoyed a stellar career with Sampdoria, Juventus and Chelsea and earned 59 caps for Italy, was first diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2017. He was given the all-clear a year later, only for the illness to return. In a Netflix documentary aired in March, he described cancer as a travel companion that he hoped would eventually leave him in peace after testing his mettle. Despite the disease, he was still able to play a significant role in Italy's Euro 2020 title-winning campaign, assisting longtime Sampdoria strike partner and national coach Roberto Mancini. Vialli and Mancini led the Italians to the Euro 2020 tournament in 2021, lifting the trophy in Wembley Stadium, where 29 years earlier, their Sampdoria team had lost the European Cup final to Barcelona. That is the size of top accolade global news update. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy weekend.